Welcome back to Apostate Sisters. I'm Patty, and I make this podcast with my sister Nancy, and we grew up in a doomsday cult. This week, we've prepared part 2 of our Bible quiz session for your listening enjoyment. If you haven't joined us for an episode before, I'll recommend that you go back and start with the first part of this Bible quiz, which was episode 5 of this season. That said, we are continuing to go through the questions found on Freedom from Religion Foundation's website, which can be found at ffrf.org/Bible quiz, if you want to check your own knowledge. So, get ready to get mad or nod your head in agreement. Here is part 2.
All right, so question 10. What happened to Korah and his family, Israelites who thought they could talk directly with God without a human intermediary? They became priests. They were expelled from the nation of Israel. The earth opened up and swallowed them. Or were they stripped of all their belongings, houses, and livestock? Damn.
Wow.
I'm not sure.
I'm actually gonna recognize that the only Korah I'm familiar with is the Last Airbender. So I don't know this one.
I
at
actually
all.
didn't know this term either. Korah. Korah.
I don't know that character in the Bible.
I don't either. Okay.
They thought they could talk directly to God without a human intermediary. They became priests. That'd be a funny answer.
I mean, yeah, I doubt it's that one, but yeah.
I think it's the swallowing them up thing. The earth opened and swallowed them up, because that's like objectively not, well, I guess there are sinkholes. That would be serendipitous.
It sounds very Greek mythology, yeah.
The earth opening up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Okay,
if they're still in Genesis, maybe. Yeah, okay, let's see.
Let's see what happened with Korah, not the Last Airbender.
Oh,
We were right. Okay, the earth opened and swallowed them up.
Okay.
Because I guess that can happen. Okay. 15,000 people were swallowed up by that.
Wow. For questioning the authority of Moses, it says. Okay.
You know what? I would like to propose a theory that this kind of thing actually could have happened there. Because I believe there is quite a few like underground passageways that were like ancient river sites in the rock, like underground river stuff in the Middle East, that it's pretty full of that kind of thing. And so to me, the idea that a sinkhole or something like that could open up isn't crazy. Like, it happens now, and not just in human, infrastructure things.
Yes.
And so if people had seen that happen, especially if it was like a whole lot of people, I kind of feel like there would need to be mythology built up around it, because that'd be scary as shit to think the earth could just whoop.
Wouldn't this have just been an earthquake?
Not necessarily. Like underground, like if there's a tunnel underground and the roof of it's pretty, collapses.
Yeah.
That could happen.
I'm just thinking, earthquakes, they could equate that for, the Lord is angry with us. And
that too.
He decided to open up the earth and swallow these 15,000 people.
That's a very good point. I mean, we do know that sometimes in earthquakes, you do get large cracks that open up, like actually.
Yes. It could have happened. And it was the Middle East, so it happens there all the time, like Turkey
especially. It's a very earthquake-prone area, isn't it?
Very, yeah.
I don't think I realized that until the last few years. Anyway, maybe since I became paranoid about earthquakes. It's fun.
I was reminded of that when my husband and I got back from Istanbul the day prior to that big earthquake hitting recently.
That's right.
Yeah, that was scary.
I kind of couldn't get over that for a few days, that you had just left.
Yeah. Yeah. That was nuts.
Wow. All right.
Okay. And question 11 we're on next. According to the Bible, who created evil? Was it Adam, Eve, God, or Satan?
Oh, it's totally God. How could it be anyone else? He created everything.
Yeah, exactly.
See,
he might blame others, but
we've spent a lot of time on this. We've spent time in the headspace like this, so I feel like we're gonna do pretty good.
I think so.
We just know it's the worst answer.
Yeah,
okay, we're right. It's God.
It's the worst answer, of course.
God created evil.
Of course he created it. God. He didn't have to create it, right? Am I wrong about that?
Oh, well, here we go. Straight up. Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
Thanks
Noted.
for that. No, we definitely know who to blame. God, thank you.
Okay.
Good
Good times.
Yeah, there's no interpretation there. He created it. All right. Question number 12. According to the Bible, what is God not able to do? Makes me wonder. What is a God not able to do? Save the very worst sinners from hell. Make a rock so huge that he can't lift it. The size of his fucking ego. Repel chariots of iron, or make people tell lies. I mean, if we're talking about, like, God claims to have given us free will, which I don't entirely believe in free will anyway, then he can't make people tell lies. But yet he can harden people's hearts and get them to do things too. So, yeah, I don't know.
I think it's repel chariots of iron, and by chariots of iron, I think they mean asteroids. Because I think asteroids hit when Yahweh was believed in, and people are like, well, he can sure do everything, but I guess you can't defend us from those.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Okay, let's see.
I'm going to do mine. I'm probably wrong. Okay, let's see.
No, you're right.
Repel chariots of iron. I bet they
mean-
won't agree with my assessment of why that would be, though. It's probably not asteroids, according to anybody but me, because I'm crazy about space.
No, but I mean, you could be right. Again.
So much for impotence. Wait, no, not impotence.
Hey, that works on a couple different levels.
So much for omnipotence.
Omnipotence.
All right. And the Lord was with Judah, and he drove out... Drave? Draven?
He drave.
And the Lord was with Judah, and he drave out the inhabitants of the mountain, but could not drive out the inhabitants of the valley, because they had chariots of iron.
Oh, okay. So
From
they're
Judges 1:19.
They're saying God was not able to. Because that's interesting.
Chariots of iron. Oh, this sounds like a future prophecy, and they're talking about cannons.
Oh, pets.
I know. I think I'm onto something. What do you think?
So fucking deep.
Think
man.
anybody would join my church if I said that's what it was?
Dude,
Somebody would.
I would join your church.
Oh, all right.
I mean, if we pick apart the Bible, like we're doing right now, hell yeah, I'd go. This is fascinating.
Amazing. Although,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna read this other passage they
Okay.
set out here. The option that was to make people tell lies,
Yeah.
and this was what God could not do. So apparently God can make people tell lies. It says, "Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil concerning thee. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie."
Wow. Okay. That goes against the whole God giving free will bit.
That was in 1 Kings and 2 Thessalonians.
Wow.
I know, right? Like,
I've never read that before.
it's because God gives us free will. No,
clearly he
doesn't.
doesn't. So, yeah, nice try.
All right.
All right. All right. Question 13. According to the Bible, where does God live? On a throne in the seventh heaven, in darkness, above the clouds, or on a planet between the sun and stars? You like space, Pats. What do you think?
I kind of think it's on a throne in the seventh heaven.
Yeah.
That phrase
There's something
is...
about seventh heaven. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Okay, let's try it. On a throne in the seventh
Because it seems like
heaven.
something that I would have been told and then asked a lot of questions about, trying to figure it out with the sciencey things I knew about space.
Yeah.
And being really dissatisfied with the bullshit answers I was given. Sounds about right. Oh, we're wrong, though.
We're wrong. It's in darkness. Okay.
God lives... Wait, what?
He lives in darkness? Where the fuck does it say that?
Well, then why do we talk about a glittering heaven?
Well, I know. Okay. So
Okay.
that... He's known as the God of light. How can he live in darkness? Interesting. Okay.
How can the God of light live in darkness? Great question, Freedom from Religion Foundation. Then spake Solomon, the Lord said that he would dwell in the thick darkness. That was in 1 Kings. And then in Chronicles, and he made darkness pavilions round about him, dark waters, and thick clouds of the skies. All right.
He made darkness his secret place, it says.
Yeah. And then Lord reigneth, let the earth rejoice, clouds and darkness around about him. So we've got stuff out of 1 Kings, 2 Chronicles, 2 Samuel, Psalms, all saying that he lives in darkness.
Okay.
But this contradicts 1 John 1:5. I'm going to go ahead and notice that all those first ones are in the Old Testament or Hebrew Bible, and then you get to the New Testament, 1 John, and it says, God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. If we walk in the light, as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another. I mean, like literally, it's just like the Old Testament and New Testament. Duh. It's like they're not talking about the same character. But
No,
also,
of course not.
Sometimes chapter to chapter, it doesn't seem like they're talking about the same character and their God or even Jesus.
Well, look at how long the Bible is. People did not have time to like go back and forth and make sure that everything lined up correctly, you know?
No.
But they tried.
Well, they kept
tried,
it. That's why they kept it under wraps, so only priests and stuff could like disseminate the information.
But they didn't get it all. And look at we're figuring shit out.
Well,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so if God lives in darkness, does that mean he's like in my butt crack right now? Because he can fucking stay there.
Oh, maybe that's a connection to dark matter.
Hell yeah. Okay, question 14. Oh, we know this one. According to the Bible, what is a bat? Is it a bird, a mammal, an insect, or a mythical creature? What do you think, Pats? What is a bat?
A bat is a furry bird. The Bible says it's a bird, so I can only assume it's one of those birds that's covered in fur instead of feathers.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a furry bird, just like a rabbit chews cud. And there are 4-legged insects. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yep.
Yay. Biblical biology rates an F. I agree with you, Freedom from Religion Foundation.
Oh, the snarkiness of these people at Freedom from Religion Foundation. I give them absolute kudos. They're so good.
It really.
This is
delightful.
Great. And I bet they had so much fun putting this quiz together. Okay. Question 15. According to biblical anatomy, where does thinking actually happen? Is it in the heart, in the brain, in the kidneys, or in the lungs?
Ooh.
What do you think?
I feel like it's in the heart.
I feel like it's in the heart too. Maybe that's how the whole thing got started.
Right, because we do say that all the
like,
time.
The heart, it really just pumps blood, and then somehow along the way, people thought, oh, all your emotions are coming through. Oh, I feel it in the heart. Okay, maybe it came from the Bible.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So that one we have adopted colloquially.
Biblical anatomy also rates an F. The heart is an organ that pumps blood. It does not process thoughts, although the biblical writers erroneously thought it did. The word brain appears nowhere in the Bible. That's interesting.
Oh.
The brain appears nowhere.
Fascinating. You know, I feel like if this was, really one of the only major things that someone could point out about being problematic with the Bible, I would completely be fine letting this one go. Because we still talk about things that we feel in our heart, or that we know, not that we feel in our heart, that we know in our heart, right? And that would be a thinking function, is to know a thing.
Right.
So we still do this, and so it wouldn't bother me that it would just be kind of figurative language. I wouldn't expect a piece of literature to be scientifically accurate about that one.
Right.
So I could totally give it a pass if that was it.
Okay.
But obviously, there's a bit more egregious shit going on here, too.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so question 16 we're on now. How did Gideon demonstrate his family values? Oh boy, here we go. Did he live with a young boy named Jether. Okay. He and his wife, Ophrah, had 3 sons who became spiritual leaders. He fathered 71 sons through many wives, plus a mistress in Shechem. Or did he remain single, becoming the inspiration for St. Paul? What do you think, Pats? How did Gideon demonstrate his family values?
I really want to say it's the 71 sons.
I'm thinking so too.
Well, 72 is like this number that shows up a lot, right? So I find that intriguing, and so it makes me want it to be that one.
Well, the question is about family values, so I'm guessing.
Yeah. He really cares about family. He made an enormous one.
Yeah. Well, multiple.
He was the original quiverful guy. The Duggar guy would really look up to him.
Yep, we're right.
Yeah, right.
Okay, of course. Yes.
Although the living with a young boy one actually wouldn't have surprised me.
Ugh. Gross. Okay, next question, number 17, and I'm going to butcher this name. After Jephthah was victorious in battle, what sacrifice did he burn on the altar as he had vowed to the Lord? Was it himself, his livestock, 2 unspotted lambs, or his virgin daughter? Good God.
I mean, this is like Cards Against Humanity.
It really is.
Yeah. I mean, it's the grossest one, so it's definitely his virgin daughter.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same. He didn't sacrifice himself.
Didn't God send a ram that time?
What is 2 unspotted lambs, by the way? Like what?
I mean, they might actually mean like spots, like physically spots.
Like fur spots?
They could mean fur spots, but my guess would be like unblemished. I think that's how I've heard it, was unblemished.
What the fuck does that mean too, as
like
far
that
as
they're
a goat
perfect
is concerned?
You know, like don't bring God your runty one and your like sick one. You know? Like, oh, I have to take an offering to God. Well, I think that lamb is about to die, so take that one. Like,
give the studly alpha one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is, awesome for building up your livestock population.
Yeah. So give that one up. Oh, yep.
Okay, it definitely was the virgin daughter.
Yes.
So if Japheth, I think it's Japheth.
I don't fucking know.
Japheth?
Jephthah? Yeah, it says, the poor nameless daughter burned as a sacrifice in order to appease the wrath and flatter the vanity of God, who accepts but never denounces this horrible practice.
You know what? God of the Bible, if you exist, you can go fuck yourself, because wow, you suck.
Well, apparently he does it all the time. Loves to stroke his own dick, clearly.
No, he doesn't. He tries to get other people to do it.
Yeah, that's true. This is disgusting. Like, I am just grossed out by all these passages, and they're in the actual Bible. Okay.
I did kind of think it would be more fun. It's like, it was funny, and each one is funny kind of on its own, but then when you see them all together, it's like, oh my God, this is the worst. This is horrible.
It really is.
And we're like thinking this thing is what's supposed to guide our fucking lives.
I know.
What's your phrase? Fuck all the way off? Yeah, fuck all the way off.
Yes. Fuck all the way off.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Well, okay, this one's funny. Okay, question 18. What price did David pay King Saul for his first wife? Was it 500 cattle, the heads of 100 Philistines? Was it the swords, shields, and horses of 300 Philistines, or the foreskins of 200 Philistines?
I knew we'd get to the foreskins.
And there it is. The foreskins of 200 Philistines.
And can I just tell you, the skin that is taken off of a baby boy when he's circumcised,
yes,
if it had stayed on the dick, it would grow into what would amount to be 15 square inches of skin for the inside and outside layer. And so, like, when you're talking about taking off foreskins of grown-ass men, we're not talking like a little tiny thing. Like, those bags of foreskins would be bloody and gooey.
And so painful for the male. I mean, it's just
we're talking
horrific.
Close to like a thin pack of cards worth of skin. Or more than that.
Yeah. You know, the majority of the world does not circumcise.
It's fucking disgusting.
It's in places like, Western well, U.S., I know, and Muslims do it and Jews do it, as far as I know. But like the rest of the world,
I mean, that makes sense. Abrahamic
religions do it.
I don't think it's a Christian thing in most cases, but it didn't become a thing in the U.S. until like Kellogg, the maker of cornflakes, came around. He was part of like a really conservative group that cared a whole lot about masturbation.
Yeah.
Like wanted to make sure people didn't masturbate. And guess what? If you don't have loose skin that slides up and down, they thought, well, then they can't, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm sorry. People kind of figure things out. And obviously, we know that people without foreskins masturbate. So, like, it didn't work.
With lube. But they shouldn't have to get lube.
Exactly.
Because there was skin in place that was supposed to be there. Yeah.
And so, even though Christianity had not really taken that on as a thing they had to do, then because of prudish modern Christian ideals, they started doing it anyway to avoid masturbating and therefore sinning.
Wow.
Obviously, because obviously that's sinning because it's hurting so many people.
Yeah. In the privacy of your own fucking, yeah.
It's really important for your bodies. Everyone should do it. Okay, shall we do number 18?
Oh, God. This shit just makes me want to go use my vibrator later. Seriously. Yeah, don't be godlike. Yeah, so, but yeah, after that whole stint, yes, I'm going to say the foreskins of 200 Philistines.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the question we're on.
Pretty sure that's the answer.
I think we might have just ranted. We've talked about a lot of things, but that was maybe the first rant of the night.
Well, I mean, and circumcision gets to us both, so, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep, that was the answer. Yeah.
Yep, foreskins.
The massacre and mutilation of, God, who even knows how many at this point? It's disgusting that actually they're still doing it, and these males have no choice in the matter. I mean, are they going to grow up and literally want to do it to themselves? No. You keep scissors away from my dick. Thank you very much.
Yeah. This is interesting. The website is calling out that, like, why would this have been the thing? Why was it 200 foreskins that were mutilated and given? That it may have been actually a pagan practice at the time to use foreskins in rituals for, you know, they're saying rain or fertility. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, right? That these other cultures that they're interacting with, that's going to figure into their to their stories.
It's all over the place. I mean, they used pagan practices and created what they wanted out of them.
Right.
Wow.
Here's
Okay,
a good
question 19. How many sexual partners did King Solomon have? Oh, boy. Okay. Here we go. Did he have one wife and 300 concubines? One wife with the concubines just being servants? Okay. Did he have 300 wives or 1,000 sexual partners? Oh, geez.
I think it's 1,000 sexual partners.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was even just one wife.
You're right. I think he just
it was multiple wives and then even more women. Concubines.
Yeah.
I don't even know how, like, did he run dry? I mean, dude. And also,
can't fuck the same woman more than once, dude. You got to have new pussy.
Yeah.
Yep. You're right.
1,000 women.
1,000 women. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I think that was not uncommon with kings of those times. And I explored a harem in Istanbul when I was there.
Do we even have proof that Solomon was a real king in history?
I don't think so. I mean,
it's pretty questionable, right? David and Solomon are pretty questionable.
I think those are the two that might be more so than some characters. But
more proof or less?
Like more proof of their existence. But again, parallel to somebody else in history. So this is not 100% accurate. I don't know. It's hard to get any sort of facts out of like Jewish history because they always refer back to the Bible. And it's like, well, no, we want to know if these people actually existed, not just something written in the Bible. We can't just take it as fact.
Well, and couldn't you see a society writing their history, and like if something they weren't as awesome, like writing into their history, like if they're remembering some neighboring civilization that had some fancy thing that they're
yes.
put that in our story too.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like that would happen.
Yeah.
Humans being humans, but also, what do I know? I know nothing.
But I mean, it's like the writings of Julius Caesar. I mean, he wrote about himself, so he can put whatever the fuck he wants in there.
Oh, there's stories about Julius Caesar.
You're not going to make yourself look bad.
Oh, there's stories about Julius Caesar walking on water, too. That's pretty fun.
Oh, are you serious?
Oh, did they live at the same time? Jesus and Julius Caesar were around at the same time? They were? And they both walked on water? Fascinating.
Now we're getting somewhere. Well, Julius Caesar came first, right?
Yeah.
I would have to refer back to my history timeline, but
yeah.
Okay, so question number 20. What happened? Oh God. What happened to 42 little children who teased God's prophet Elijah for being bald, and he cursed them in the name of the Lord? These 42 little children laughing at some dude's bald head. Did God decide to have their parents whip them? They and their descendants to 5 generations were forbidden to enter the tabernacle. They were forced to work 7 years for the Levites as child slaves. Fun. Or did 2 bears come out of the forest and kill them all?
I see you rearranged the order of them to say 2 bears last, because that's definitely what it is.
Yes. Well, yeah, I knew that one.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. Yeah.
42 children. Can you imagine being teased for being bald by 42 little children all at once?
Man.
I mean, that would be pretty brutal. 42 little kids teasing you?
That poor guy. The size of his dick must be so small. What choice did he have but to kill the kids? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Because there's no room for error.
Definitely true.
Yep.
Well, not true, but in the book. Yeah. That's fine.
It's interesting what the Freedom for Religion Foundation says here. Note that this bloody execution for a childish prank is the work of the God of the Bible. Is a person like this worthy of worship? And they ask the question, is this pro-life? Isn't that fascinating? They are so pro-life, and yet... Man, death and killing
they're
is such a
pro-life.
thing.
They're pro-control.
Pro-control. That's better. All right. Question 21. What reason did God give for tormenting Job? Because Job was a sinner and he deserved it? I didn't torment Job. Satan did. Well, Satan dared me, so I destroyed Job for no reason at all. Or I wanted to see how far a man would bend before breaking. Well, you know what? It could be, honestly, any of those.
I'm trying to remember in the story. I think God just said, no, go ahead, Satan, do what you will. But don't kill him. But don't touch the man himself, I think is how it went.
Wait, I think it's the third one. Satan dared me, so I destroyed Job for no reason at all.
I think Satan did it.
Either way, I think he's blaming Satan for it. So... I didn't torment Job.
Well, but look, and Satan dared me, so I destroyed. But I don't think God did. I think God gave Satan permission to do it.
Oh, okay. That could be too. Let's check it out.
Let's find out.
All right.
Oh, I was wrong. You were right.
Oh! Satan dared me, so I destroyed Job for no reason at all. Okay.
So God did do it. Okay.
So, yes.
This is a damning confession, it says. Oh, my God.
Yep. In a court of law, this would be enough to convict God to the highest reckless crimes against humanity. Wow.
I feel like my outrage is waning. Like, I'm just not surprised by anything shitty anymore.
No. It's...
I might have to take a break after a couple more.
That's fine with me.
Oh, my God. Then tomorrow I can come back and be offended afresh.
See... Normally shit like this would be really funny, but the fact that this is in here and so many of these passages have destroyed so many people's lives, it's horrible.
No,
this is
you're
terrible.
Right. I know. I kind of just wanted it to be funny, but it isn't.
I know, but this is a disgusting book.
You're right, because we've seen it lived out.
Yeah. But as far as Valakai says, too, he's like, you have to laugh at this shit.
People are still doing absolute bananas crazy shit in the name of the Bible.
Yeah.
But it's not to the level of the actual things in the Bible in some places now.
Yes.
I mean, because if they were going to be as literal as they could be,
yeah,
it could be so much worse.
Yeah. But can you imagine, like, around the time after the entire Bible was written in its entirety, like the New Testament got done, just how serious people have taken it. And they still do, trust me. But, like, we're talking right after it came out, like,
well, there was no right after it came out. The books of the New Testament were written over, like, 200 years.
I know, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, once they finished it, and well, they must have
like
been
when
utilizing
they compiled
it as they
it.
went. Yeah,
Like when it became canon or whatever.
or like when the Gutenberg Bible was printed.
Oh, yeah,
you
okay,
know?
that's fair.
And then it went from there. But anyway, yeah, it's all horrible. So, yeah, we'll get halfway here. So, question 22, according to the Bible, what does Satan look like? I'm assuming it's nothing like he's portrayed today. Is he a skinny red man with horns and a pointed tail, which is pop culture's way of depicting him? Is he a red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns? Is he a garden snake or an angel?
It's not a garden snake because the story of the Garden of Eden talks about a serpent, never once says that serpent is Satan.
Correct.
So I'm going to say it's an angel in a black robe because our growing up talked about Satan being Lucifer, having been Lucifer, an angel of light, the morning star, in fact, which actually is Venus, but don't tell Christians. I think it's angel.
Listen to you anyway. I think it's the red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns.
You do?
Yes, I do.
I mean, I guess if red dragon was in there, that would sort of explain our modern, like, you know, cartoony connotation of what the devil looks like.
I think
okay,
so.
Well, let's see.
Because it's kind of...
You are totally right, Nancy.
A red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns. Have you ever seen that image anywhere?
Red dragon? No.
He's never been actually portrayed, but yet in the Bible, that's how he's described. So let's find the actual passage.
I feel like the closest I've seen is like Chinese dragon art. And I don't think that's the right number of parts.
Okay, so what's the passage? It is from Revelation 12, 3 through 9. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his and it goes on, but it says this is the only physical description of Satan in the Bible. The only physical description. So where in the fuck did his normal pop culture image today come from?
Weird, right?
Makes me wonder.
Well, even the red correlates at least.
Well, the red correlates.
And dragons are often thought to be somewhat like in that serpentine family thing. You know.
Yeah.
Well, right? Like dragons and serpents, you know. I think, you know, across the world, there's a lot of red dragon things, actually.
Right.
Well, and listen to what it says here. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to earth. I'm sorry, that's a meteor shower. Am I wrong?
There you go to space again.
Comet. I know. I mean, honestly, I seriously...
You're going to the 7th heaven.
It seriously makes so much sense to me that these stories would be built based on crazy shit people are seeing in the skies because we can't see the skies. We've got city lights.
Yes.
They could see everything.
They could see everything.
It had to be scary as shit and fascinating at the same time. Of course they made stories about it.
Yep. It's pure mythology. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Great red dragon. Cool. All right, question 23. How does the biblical God treat haughty women? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Haughty.
Haughty. Does he make them barren? does he put scabs on their head and uncover their private parts. What the fuck? He takes away their gold and expensive clothing, or the Holy Spirit causes them to feel shame for their arrogance.
Oh, you know it's scabs on heads and uncovered private parts. It totally is.
It totally is, yeah.
I mean, because you just picked the worst one, actually. Yes. It's crazy how much of these horrifying things, I'm like, I totally remember hearing that passage.
Yeah.
Like,
we heard something about it.
They were not skipped for us like they were in, I presume, in evangelical stuff. It's totally censored in evangelical stuff, and we got the full thing, and we're told it's fine.
Yes.
Blah!
I don't know which is worse, though. It's like, at least...
We're right.
Yeah,
it is.
We're right. At least in the Worldwide Church of God where we were raised, they were all about these horrible passages. And yes, they said it was okay. At least they didn't try to hide it. Or, I mean, there was a form of manipulation there, but it's nowhere near what a lot of evangelical churches are like today. Right?
What the heck?
Yeah. This is really fucked up. Like, why? Why scabs on your head and uncover your private parts? What in the fuck does that even mean? All right, here's my vag hanging out here, and there's these scabs on my head now. Like, ugh. What? Why? So, hinged opening? What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. So secret parts is the word that comes from is poth, which means hinged opening, which is used to mean vagina. That's great.
Fucking A, dude. Yeah, it says this is just one of many biblical instances in which women are debased, immorally treated as male property, subject to purchase, sale, abduction, and even sexual assault. And it goes on to say, no wonder the biblical writers never disapprove of such crimes when they are committed by God himself. How can anyone possibly pretend to love a God who would say such a thing? Yeah, that's a very good question. And yet, thousands and thousands of people...
He could have just taken away their gold and expensive clothing. I mean, like...
But no, why would do that when you can put scabs on a haughty woman's head? Dude.
And hang their beaver out for everybody.
It would have been a beaver, too. I don't know when they came up with razor blades, but yeah. Yeah. All right. Question number 24. In dollars or shekels in the Bible, how much is a woman worth? Oh, geez. Is it half of a male, the same as a male, twice as much as a male, or is it irrelevant? The Bible doesn't put a dollar value on human life. What do you think?
Definitely half.
Half as a male. Yeah, I'd say.
I'm actually surprised, but okay.
You are?
Well, I'm surprised it's that much.
Oh, okay. Yep, you're right. Modern sexism and inequality. Yep. Oh, and depending on age, yeah, the female is worth approximately half as much as a male. It says it right there. Wow. Wow.
Fantastic.
So gross.
I'm like, I don't even have the energy to like be upset about this one right now.
Really?
It just makes me sad.
Wait,
I mean, let's add to what my child said about, we're 1,000 years behind on progress where we could be. Mm-hmm. And that's not just because of the things we've talked about. Like, it's wholly because women who had a lot to contribute to how the world could work had no say.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
And you can't progress, at least in a good way, if you're not having,
it's
all
kind of
parts
like
of the population participate.
That, and it's more so, money and social standing today, where we were talking earlier about the education system, like kids in a neighborhood that has more money, a family with more money, they have access to better education. Okay, so the kids that don't have money, they don't get the proper education, and they can't move forward, and so we're losing all of that creativity and potential.
Right, but it maintains the caste system, the class system, which benefits the people on top.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
See it for what it is, people.
Forever. My gosh. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And question number 25. So we're at the halfway point of our 50 questions. What happens if a man rapes an engaged virgin in the city and no one hears anything? Oh my gosh. The man should pay her father 100 shekels of silver. The man is stoned to death. The woman is stoned to death, or they are both stoned to death.
It's definitely not the man. It's definitely not. Well, I don't know about the no one hears anything. I know there's one like if they are discovered, but that's not an engaged virgin.
Yes, I'm actually not sure about this one.
I guess I am kind of leaning toward the paying her father 100 shekels because he like basically devalued her for who she'll be sold to. Or like takes away her value. Like the money he would have gotten for selling her is gone, so he's got to pay it then.
I know in some cases, yeah, the man has to, or the woman has to marry her rapist.
Right.
Which is gross.
But this one's specifically an already engaged woman. So, okay, well, let's see.
It's so weird if no one hears anything. It's like...
Ugh. I mean, and why isn't there an option of nothing happens? Because that's what I actually think it would be.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
if a man rapes an engaged virgin in the city, no one hears anything. Okay, so we're going to go with he has to pay her father 100 shekels.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
Oh, we're wrong. Oh, they're both stoned to death. Okay.
They're both stoned to death.
I mean,
okay.
you know, that makes me feel like 2% better.
So why would she have to be killed?
I mean, she's not valuable to her owner anymore.
Jeez. Okay.
Duh.
So, well, I mean, yeah, she can't marry the man, right? Because she's ruined now. It says here, yeah, the snarkiness. What if she was gagged or had laryngitis or the neighbors were out of town? Is it fair to punish the victim of a crime, much less mete out the death penalty to a victim of violence? The Bible primitively and unfairly frames rape as a crime committed by a man against another man's property. Mm-hmm. Correct. Wow.
Oh, and if she wasn't engaged, then she would have been forced to marry the rapist.
Oh, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
that's where it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because
But
if she's
since
engaged, she like already kind of belongs to someone else.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. Cool. So Deuteronomy 22:28-29. If a man finds a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. So he can't divorce her either then.
He has humbled her. Wow. The wording of that.
Well, that's disgusting.
Absolutely.
Well, and there in the scholarly circles, there is some debate about lay hold on her. And some Christian apologists will try really hard to be like, that doesn't mean what you think it means. Like, no. All the scholars are like, no, lay hold on her. I'm sorry. That would be sexual assault. And then they try to argue that the end that they be found, which makes it sound like they were off together intentionally.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean, these are the little ways that like Christian apologists will look at this, which is objectively horrible no matter what, and try to like weasel out of it being bad in any way. Mm-hmm. Like, are you paying attention? And also, like, think how many languages this has been through and revisions and everything. So, I mean, how much are you going to draw from it?
And the time period. I mean, things change so much over the years, and this is...
Yeah, we have no idea what people back then were living like. No.
Yeah. It must have been more brutal for them to write shit like this. I mean,
the Christianity of today, or even, 1500s is nothing like what it was when it actually was, getting started. Mm-hmm. We just made it up ever since.
Well, yeah.
And we just do it however we are. We're the culture that keeps trying to evolve through these weird ideas that they keep sifting it through. It just makes no sense. Okay.
And since that was question 25, I think we are going to stop here at the halfway point, since there are 50 questions to the longer version of the quiz on the Freedom from Religion Foundation's website.
And that takes care of part 2. We appreciate your continued company in our exploration through this Bible quiz. as we're navigating through the twists and turns of the wild religious knowledge. We're just thrilled to have you here with us. So stay tuned for more laughter, reflection, and maybe even a few surprises. Until next time, this is Patty and Nancy of the Apostate Sisters. Good night.